Today I'm at Badger Pass in Yosemite National Park, and I'm about to do a backpacking trip, a winter backpacking trip to Glacier Point and back. It is winter, so I'm going to be using my snowshoes. I've only done one other winter backpacking trip, so this is my second one, but I should be taking a road all the way there. So hopefully this will be easy and I can build up to two more advanced trips. So back here, covered in snow, is the A-frame where the permits are issued. And there's a nice little metal staircase right here. That's not where we go. We had to climb up the steps over here, kind of where the ski lifts are, and go in the front. But I've got my permit, I've got my overnight parking pass, and this is the snow area, the ski resort area in Yosemite National Park. It used to be called Badger Pass. Now it's just the Yosemite Ski and Snowboard area. And over here is the main building for the ski and snowboard area. You can get rentals. Over to the left, further back, is a ski and snowshoe rental place. And it's obviously ski lifts. People are enjoying the snow, but it's early in the morning and it's already parked up. So I had a little confusion when I came in. You come in through here, that's main Glacier Point Road. It's closed past there. And there's all these parking areas. And this is the main resort, which I was walking circles around at first. And that's the ranger station where you get your permit. So I'm gonna go move my car and head towards the trailhead. All right, here we go. Snowshoes on, trail's here. So this is a groom trail. So the way this works is they've got these ski lanes right here and right here. And cross-country skiers, you can kind of see the crisscrosses kind of cut uphill in the middle. And then the snowshoers stay to the outside. So it's still nice and flat and easy. So I'm going to be following this road, which is open to cars in the summer. Pretty much, I think usually like March, April through October, November. And this is how you drive up to Glacier Point. And you get these fantastic views. I literally just left Badger Pass, which is no longer called Badger Pass because there's somebody privately owned the naming rights to everything in Yosemite, and somebody bought it and tried to strong arm the National Park Service into paying more for those names. And I mean, National Park Service, organization that keeps getting its budget cut, so not exactly a bold move. Well, it is kind of a bold move to try and squeeze more money out of them. So what they did is they just changed the name to everything. So Badger Pass is now Yosemite Ski and Snowshoe Area. And just left that area, heading up Glacier Point Road. And I'm going to see how close I can get to Glacier Point itself today, which is like 10 miles away. Sharing the road. Nice sunny stretch of the trail right next to a nice sunny little meadow. So in the summer this is super green, in the fall it's super brown, but right now it's just a nice white open space. Same meadow, but I just saw something that made me laugh. Yeah, it snowed a little bit this winter. And I don't think that facility is usable. I heard that a couple, like one or two of them have been dug out. So I don't know who went through all that effort, but this one is closed for the season. That vault toilet next to that beautiful meadow. On this beautiful road. Have this amazing view down the road with the tall mountains of the High Sierra back there. And it's nice because when I'm usually on this road, I'm kind of in a hurry to get to Glacier Point. It's nice to actually take time to slow down, and every once in a while you get some nice views, and it is quiet. Like, my snowshoes are pretty noisy, and every once in a while I hear the whoosh, whoosh, whoosh of a skier coming up here. But other than that, besides the airplane, super quiet and sunny and just beautiful. Speed limit 35 miles an hour. I think I'm okay. Pretty sure I'm not going to reach that speed on snowshoes. Further up on the trail, the groom tracks aren't as obvious, but it's still flat and easy. But holy cow, these views. That is amazing. And it's gorgeous. And because this is not open to vehicular travel, I can stop to enjoy it. That's so pretty. So this was such a beautiful spot, I decided to stop and take a rest and have some lunch. So I've got my snowshoes just kind of set up here. A couple other people were hanging out. They've left now, and I have this entire thing all to myself. It's so beautiful. Nothing really that special about this section. It's just more of the road that's now a trail, and it's kind of a straightaway, so you can see for quite a while. Still very lovely, still beautiful weather, still very nice and quiet and peaceful. So I'm going to be approaching kind of the area where the road starts to turn and you get your first views of Half Dome, and also the trailhead for Taft Point, which I'm going to be going past. So those are up next. Rounding what I believe to be Washburn Point, the trail goes down this way, and getting some views through the trees. See if it pops out again. Here it is, Half Dome, all covered in snow. So I could go out to the edge there and take a look at it. But these are kind of similar views that we're going to be getting at Glacier Point. Maybe just not as much of the valley down there, but Glacier Point, we'll get this good view of Half Dome and Tenaya Canyon, and then this way through the trees is Yosemite Valley. So next up, should get a nice turn that hits the what I call the Instagram stretch. It's a section of this road I always see on Instagram. And then Glacier Point. This little curve here is the Instagram stretch because, wow! So it's a beautiful section of road, and you come up on this fantastic view of Half Dome and Tenaya Canyon. Now, the reason people like to use this for Instagram, besides it's gorgeous, is that there's usually not the crowds that are usually at Glacier Point in the summer. And the reason there's no crowds is because there's no pullouts in this area. You can see coming back here, it's kind of a narrow road. So there's no real places to turn around, there's no turnouts. And I don't know how those people are getting pictures when they're doing it, but I imagine they've got to be stopping traffic to do this. So I have to laugh every time I see them on Instagram. If they can get those without, disrupting the flow of traffic or everybody else, or, while doing it while being safe, then good for them. But I don't know if I would risk that picture. I don't know if it's worth it. But it's beautiful now that there's no traffic here and you can just walk and enjoy it in the winter. It's kind of a special thing they do here at Yosemite. Just closing this off for hikers and skiers. Welcome to Glacier Point. It's a nice half-buried sign. The Glacier Point is actually, hello Half Dome. Glacier Point is actually this way and then to the left here. So that's a nice welcome sign, but there's still a bit of a hike to get there. And there's no longer a groomed trail to get there. So I was kind of cursing the fact that I was wearing snowshoes for most of that trail, because it's nice and compressed and people were clearly walking it without snowshoes, and I was just dragging these heavy snowshoes. But once you get off that groomed trail, if you take your snowshoes off, you sink. So I'm actually glad I brought them, and I'm going to use them to go to Glacier Point proper, the actual point itself. So, while we have this amazing view on our way to Glacier Point itself, I just wanted to point out the area. So this is Tenaya Canyon. It goes straight up from Yosemite Valley, which is blocked by this stuff right now. Then of course we have Half Dome. Probably can figure that out, but I'll tell you anyway. It's Half Dome right there. Over here is Little Yosemite Valley. So when you hike Half Dome, you have to camp in Little Yosemite Valley in order to basically to get there. It's over here actually. And then down here is, oh, I always get them confused. I think that's Nevada Fall. So there's Vernal and Nevada Fall, they're part of the Mist Trail. And the other fall is below that you can't see right now. And then we have Illilouette Creek over here. And last summer I did a hike to Half Dome, taking the Panorama Trail, and that went this way. So we started here, we went down into that valley, came around this point, past the waterfalls, and went back up to Yosemite Valley, and the next day climbed up to Half Dome. So this is the snack stand in the summer. It's obviously closed now. I believe that's the geology hut up there, but Glacier Point itself is past all this. And here it is, Glacier Point. So we already saw this stuff over this way. And now we have more of Tenaya Canyon. And then over here, we actually have Yosemite Valley. So right across the way here is Yosemite Falls. And you can see there's actually snow at the base of the upper fall. If you keep going this way, you go down the valley and you get El Cap, which you can't see right now. In the summer, oh, you can see a little lower Yosemite Fall too, right at the bottom. I can't see it on my screen, but it's there. Now in the summer you can actually look down to the valley, but I'm not sure how much of this edge is actually edge or it's just snow, so I'm not going to get too close. But I am actually in an area where camping's allowed, so I'm going to look around here and see if I can find a place to set up. There are sections of Glacier Point that are not open for camping, but as the ranger explained, that's kind of in between the geology hut and the parking area. So this should be good, and I did see somebody else set up, so we're going to be here for tonight, and I get to see sunrise tomorrow. And that's it for the first day. I've got my tent set up. I'm currently melting my water because I need to melt snow in order to get water, and I'm watching the light fade on the surrounding hills. So tomorrow we have Glacier Point sunrise, and because I'm making so much good time on those groomed trails, we're going to take Glacier Point Road back, but we're going to make a detour to Dewey Point, which also overlooks the valley, but closer to like El Capitan. So that's tomorrow. It should be a nice and beautiful day tomorrow.